Brock Edward Lesnar doesn't sound as intimidating anymore, but then you remember he's Brock goddamn Lesnar. He eats feelings and drinks souls whilst punching through iron, steel, and Jupiter, so yeah, he's still intimidating. He has a huge list of accomplishments like those muscles and Sable, but for every Lesnar angle at Mania 19, there's a Lesnar Goldberg at Mania 20. I'm D Wicked from Watch WWE, and these are the 10 things WWE want you to forget about Brock Lesnar. Number 10, he's had a fairly rubbish 2016. The Beast Incarnate hasn't really done much this year when you look at it, especially compared to feuding with The Undertaker and fighting for / holding the top title last year. He has fallen from grace. Brock started out the year poorly, being eliminated by the Wyatt family during the Rumble, and then Bray vs. Brock never happening. Instead, we saw Brock eat Luke Harper alive, which was pretty dull, and then nothing else. He fought for the WrestleMania main event spot, lost, and ended up feuding with Dean Ambrose in a very, very meh WrestleMania match. He disappeared for a while, comes back to destroy Randy Orton at SummerSlam 2016, which was disappointing and weird, kind of, especially considering then at Survivor Series he just got mauled by Goldberg. I don't get it. Not a very stellar year for the next big thing. Number 9, WrestleMania 20. Gee, WWE really don't like this WrestleMania. Between the fairly boring Undertaker-Kane match, Chris Benoit winning in the main event, and the original Goldberg vs. Lesnar, it's all over the place for them. This match was goddamn awful. It was a dream match at the time too. Can you believe it? This was what everyone wanted, but because everyone knew both guys were leaving the company the next night and that neither of them really gave a shit, the crowd shit all over it and it was a dud. Number 8, throwing Zach Gowen down the stairs. There he goes. That's not very nice, Mr. Lesnar. Number 7, breaking Hardcore Holly's neck. There he goes. That's not very nice, Mr. Lesnar. Number 6, steroids. Oh, fuck me. Just look at him. You know he's injected some things into that rock body of his. Number 5, he doesn't really care about the WWE. Remember when Cena and Lesnar were feuding in 2012? Remember when Edge made a surprise return to talk to Cena? How he said the one similarity between the two constant rivals was that them growing up being a WWE superstar is what they always wanted to do, how it was their lifetime goal, and how Lesnar was only in it for the money? Yeah. That was real. He was serious. Brock's a bit of a dickhead. Number 4, his UFC record. Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, the Conqueror, the Eater of Worlds, the world's strongest man, the Viper. Brock is an absolute monster, and WWE love bringing up and plugging UFC when talking about him because it brings a different sense of legitimacy and badassery pro wrestling just doesn't have. That all stops when you remember he's only 6-3 with the addition of his win over Mark Hunt at UFC 200. But when you also consider his second fight he lost in just a minute, and his last 2 fights before returning to the WWE he lost, both by total knockout, it's kind of, well, average, which is the opposite of what Brock Lesnar is supposed to be. I mean, he's the man beast. Number 3, backlash from ending the streak. I'm in this group of people. The streak didn't have to come to an end, but if it did, it should have been used for someone to be elevated to an absolute insane level of superiority. Imagine if Brock hadn't beaten it and instead this year Finn Balor got called up to beat The Undertaker, or Samoa Joe, or hell, even AJ Styles. Anyone. Brock was already a monster and he didn't need it. And if it wasn't that bad, after beating the streak, Brock goes on his own tear, so okay, at least someone else is getting set up to beat Brock. Oh man, we could have had Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, all listed it previously. Shinsuke Nakamura even maybe beat Brock, and Goldberg beat him? Okay. So the guy who's getting the momentum from beating the guy who beat the streak is Goldberg, the 50-year-old. Number 2, lawsuits against WWE. Brock wanted to compete. WWE said no. Brock said, you can fuck right off. And then he ate the WWE. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how the lawsuit went. And number 1, leaving for the NFL. Oh, poor Vinnie Mac. He hates when his big, tough, manly friends leave him, doesn't he? Brock did just that the night after WrestleMania 20, opting to leave the company and join the Minnesota Vikings. That went horribly for Brock, who then successfully, his record, moved to UFC, until finally coming back to quote-unquote home with his good old pal Mr. McMahon, who will get mad if you ever bring this list up to him. Especially number 1, that he left for the NFL. And that's our list. What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments below, and if you like what you saw, check out our other work over at Spacebound, Watch Sports, and my channel Conspiratorial Wrestling. Keep yourself updated by following us on Twitter at YTWatchWWE and Illuma Wrestling. And of course, if you enjoyed, like the video, don't subscribe, instead go down into the description and enter our giveaway, and turn on those notifications for more of the best wrestling content. Thank you all for watching.